Tuesday, and this is Caitlin, and I'm on a beach in the Bahamas. Huh? Well, no, it's not Tuesday, but I'll be posting this on Tuesday. My boyfriend Bill, he's with me today. Do you want to be on camera, Bill? He's on camera, and yeah, this is probably not going to be a very good video, owing to the fact that I'm on a beach in the Bahamas on a Saturday, not Tuesday. You probably can't even hear me, but that doesn't matter, because if I have to redo this myself, I totally will when I get home. But at the very least, you can see that I am on a beach. So I'll be doing, talking about, let's see, the effect of story-specific vocabulary within a story. Pretty much what that deals with is I read a lot of stories where the author will, basically what they'll do is they'll create an entire vocabulary for the characters or for the environment that they're writing into the story for the story. Like Scott Westerfeld, who I'm a big fan of, he does a lot of this in his stories, especially the Uglies trilogy and the attached novel extras. He has an entire set of vocabulary that is specific to the story. Characters, they have a lot of slang that is specific to the world, such as bubbly, which is sort of like, you know, airheaded and having fun. Depending on who's using it, it can mean like airheaded, or it can mean just like, oh, I'm feeling like really great and really sort of high on life. Instead of saying I'm feeling nervous, they'll say this, you know, so-and-so is very nervous making, or it's very happy making, or it's very sad making. They have a whole set of slang, and it really lends realism to the story itself. Like it adds another dimension. Like, we view our worlds through the language that we use. It gives us perspective, the type of language that we use. So when you give a story-specific language, besides giving it a religion or a setting or, you know, types of clothing that people wear, what the things they believe, you give them a specific way of speaking. It adds a whole other dimension of realism to the story that you're writing. I read a fan fiction for Gundam Wing where the person, she kept it in the Gundam Wing universe, but she created this entirely new colony called Freeport, and they had a lot of story-specific references within there too. She had, you know, different titles for different jobs that people did, and then one that I found most interesting was Recyc, which was basically the recycled area, because it was a colony in space, so you had to like send everything to Recyc in order to get recycled and send basically, you know, back through the system as water and dirt and air and everything. And so they'd use that as like a term for having died, basically, because that's where all bodies ended up. So I guess that's really all I have to say for this free week. Just it's really important, besides putting in like vocabulary specific to the story, is you also want to make sure that, like, as you do with dialogue, you want to make it sound natural to the story. You also want to make sure that the slang you're using is something that can be understood by the reader really easily. You know, it doesn't take like explanation. The characters shouldn't use slang and then somebody else shouldn't say, oh, you mean that means like so-and-so. Or if you have to have a break in the story where you just add like a little bit of non-dialogue that says this was a reference for so-and-so, you don't want to do that too much. The key to slang in a story is that it doesn't have to be explained by the writer or by the author. It's understood by the reader sort of intrinsically because of its use in the story and the context in which it's used. So that's sort of the key to doing that. You can add a word to make it, you can add slang to make it seem more real, and then you have to add slang in a way that the reader can sort of absorb it without having to like think about it too much. If the reader can understand without having to interpret it, then you've achieved a really successful bit of slang in your story, and that's going to add a dimension of realism. You know, besides having a religion or, you know, dress code or like rules or setting or something like that, and the type of food they eat. All these little things, these little details can really add a dimension of realism, so you really want to take the time to think about that. I personally make up a whole list of like all the slang that my characters might use in the story, and I give it a little definition, say whether it's vulgar, whether it's something that everybody can use, whether certain, you know, classes or races or types of people in certain areas will use it. Because when you think about it, like, different groups of people have different words for different things, so you really want to concentrate on that as well. My arm's getting kind of tired, and I kind of want to get a little bit more sun, so I'm going to sign off here. If I need to do this later, again, because my volume didn't come up or anything, I'll do that. But for the time being, you can see that it's me on a beach in Bahamas. So I will see you guys next week. I'll be back at my house. Hopefully still kind of tan, so I'm going to work on that now, and I will talk to you guys later. Tune in tomorrow for Jessie. Bye!